This is my dad, Fred Fisher, my mother, Claire Fisher, and our neighbor, Diana. I want you to envision the most delicious meal you could imagine on a plate in front of you. But I want you to imagine you're sitting on a toilet in a public restroom eating it. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you just lost your appetite. And I give you this image to demonstrate why a woman who is trying to breastfeed her child in public should not be asked to go into a bathroom to feed her baby or anywhere else. One of the most important things in a baby's life are the first 6 months and what a baby is fed. The Center for Disease Control does pull statistics from every state, including Texas, and although the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that a baby be exclusively breastfed until they're 6 months of age, 50% of babies in Texas are no longer being breastfed by the time they're 6 months. And although it's also encouraged that they're continue to be breastfed until they're a year old, only 25% of those babies are still breastfed at a year. So I want to encourage and motivate you to act and educate yourselves about the importance of breastfeeding, but also to be a proponent for women who choose to breastfeed in public and speak up for them. So by the end of my speech, I hope you will want to speak out for women if you see any incidents occurring, and also want to go find out more information about the importance of breastfeeding. When I worked at a library, I had a woman come up to me and say, there's a lady exposing herself in the library. What it turned out to be was a woman breastfeeding her child, very modestly. I breastfed all 3 of my children until they were well over a year old. So I understand the importance of breastfeeding, and I also have experienced firsthand the negative feedback from people in public when I chose to breastfeed my children in public. The Surgeon General of the United States has stated in a call to action newsletter that if women breastfed their babies exclusively, over $13 billion in healthcare, we would have $13 billion in healthcare savings every year. Not only that, but he states that breastfeeding protects babies from infection and illnesses like diarrhea, ear infections, and pneumonia. And babies who are exclusively breastfed before 6 months of age, up until 6 months of age, have a lesser chance of developing asthma later on in life. Breastfeeding is the optimal way to feed a baby, and it's also the easiest and least expensive. And you can help keep it that way by motivating women, encouraging them to continue breastfeeding, and also speaking out for women who choose to breastfeed in public. Don't make them feel like they should be ostracized because they're choosing to do that. Although we have laws in Texas which protect, legislation that protects women, the Texas Health and Safety Code statutes state that a mother is entitled to breastfeed her baby in any location in which a mother is authorized to be. If we can educate the women and the people around us that are affected by this to know what they need to do, that they are allowed to breastfeed their babies wherever they want, it will help them to be more confident when they choose to do that. As I said before, the best nutrition for a child initially is being breastfed. And women should not have to be limited by a feeling of pressure that they can't just breastfeed whenever the child is hungry or wherever the ways that you can promote laws and legislation that will help women be more protected when they breastfeed in public. But just know, just educate yourself on the importance of breastfeeding itself will help you spread the word to women who may not know or may not be educated. And we can bring about a change in how breastfeeding is viewed by the public in general. One of the main things that breastfeeding helps is a mother bond with the baby. So by being able to be comfortable breastfeeding your child wherever you want, we are helping mothers also bond with their babies and continue what they should naturally be doing, which is feeding their child. Hopefully, you've taken away the fact that you have the power to stand up for women if you see them being treated in a negative way in public. You can educate yourself about breastfeeding in general, so you can spread the word to people you know. You don't have to be a woman. You don't have to be a breastfeeding woman. Maybe somebody in your life has a child or is about to have a child. Maybe later on in life you're going to get married and your wife will be choosing whether or not to breastfeed. Being able to have information to give that person and also be able to encourage them when they choose to do that, especially in public if they need to, is incredibly important. As Herbert Spencer said, the great aim in education is not knowledge, but action. So by gaining knowledge, hopefully you will step up and act and defend breastfeeding mothers.